A fire breaks out at a Fort Pierce mosque. Federal officials leading the investigation into who intentionally set the blaze on one of Islam's holiest days.
Reaction to the fire spans the state as people outside Pulse nightclub react to what happened at the place where the shooter here once prayed.
And later, how this act of arson may be impacting those closest to Omar Mateen.
A day of religious celebration for local Muslims turns into a day of fear and disgust after an arsonist targeted a local mosque.
We have live team coverage tonight at the fire at the Islamic Center of Fort Pierce. Our anchor Jay Kashmir is there live along Midway Road tonight. Jay?
Tonight, a very active crime scene behind me here where federal and local officials are combing every square inch of this mosque to find the person responsible for setting fire to it overnight. Calling it arson, not ruling out a hate crime at this point. I want to welcome in John Shaman. He brings off our coverage at the top of this hour with a step-by-step account of exactly what happened overnight, John.
Well, Jay, again, the first calls came in around 12:30. 2 calls to 911. Fire officials were on the scene moments later. They would spend almost 5 hours putting out this fire. And as Jay just mentioned, federal agencies involved here, the ATF as well as the FBI, joining with the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office, who we last heard from around midday today. Now, the local Muslim community wants this classified as a hate crime. The Sheriff's Office has not gone so far just yet, but they do have someone they want you to take a look at.
Just before midnight on 9/11, the headlight of a motorcycle spotted coming down Midway Road. A few minutes later, a man is seen running from the Islamic Center of Fort Pierce after leaving something behind.
He was holding a bottle of some sort of fluid and what appeared to be some papers or something like that.
Moments later, the mosque is engulfed in flames. Firefighters on the scene for nearly 5 hours. The damage is significant, forcing worshipers to go to another mosque to celebrate the holiday of Eid al-Adha.
Why can't people be more mature? You know, why do you have to be so ignorant?
Jennifer Parsons filmed the fire from her home just across the street. She saw worshipers leave not long before the fire began.
It's not safe to wake up in the middle of the night in your neighbor's house. Even though it's not a house, it's still a home. You know, people go there and celebrate together like a family.
Safety around the mosque became an issue this summer when mosque leaders asked the sheriff's office for added patrols after it was discovered the Orlando nightclub shooter had attended here in the past. Initially, the sheriff's office said it couldn't because of staffing levels, but later did increase its presence here. It plans to do the same thing now.
We are going to be out here probably for several days working this scene, and the crime scene will be protected with sheriff's deputies, yes.
Now, if you know anything in this case, you're asked to call the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office Major Crimes Unit. Their phone number is 772-462-3230, or you can call Treasure Coast Crime Stoppers at 1-800-273-TIPS. And Jay, this is still a crime scene, so mosque officials telling us this afternoon they haven't been able to get back there themselves, but they do say if they can rebuild here, they will.
And that's an important point to make. John Shaman, thank you very much for your coverage. That point